Hello, Crafty Minions. My name is Fong, and I am the mom of two Minions MD on YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. So, today I want to do something a little different. I wanted to talk to you about my journey in journaling. So, hope you stick around and I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Okay, so we have a large stack of journals here. So, let me walk you through some of these. Let me get rid of some of these from here and let's get started. Okay. So, who didn't have these journals as a kid, a teenager? Because I certainly did. These are from, I guess I started journaling in these. I have a smaller one with the diary, and there's a lock on it. I couldn't find that, but I started journaling in that, I think in elementary school, and then these are middle school and high school. I didn't journal often, but I did manage to finish this all the way through. To the end. And then I think almost done with this. And I think I probably, if I was upset about something or there was a lot of drama going on, I wrote very often. But then if it was kind of no drama and things like that, I wasn't writing in it as often. It was mostly just a place where I could kind of let out my feelings. And I really enjoyed that process of like getting it all out and being able to reflect on things that were upsetting or frustrating to me. And there are happy things in here too, but I would probably say there's a lot of teenage angst things in here. So I do not read through these. I just keep these for, I guess, just to keep as a memory item. But God, I would cringe if I had to read these again. Who wouldn't, right? Then as I got out of high school, I kind of didn't journal as much with being in college, but I did create a kind of journal for my boyfriend, my husband, but my boyfriend at the time in this kind of art sketchbook, and I made it for him using some very basic supplies, cutouts from magazines, printed out from the computer, markers. I don't have any stickers in here. Very cheap supplies, very basic, but just kind of documenting how we met and some pictures and our relationship, things like that. And I also put some cards in here. I put, yeah. So it was very simple. Didn't get it done, but that's okay. I think after we got engaged, I kind of stopped documenting in this journal. So then as we got married and I had my daughter, I wanted to be able to keep it simple because, being a new mom was hard. It was really hard for me. And so, but I still wanted to document somehow. And so I just did this, used it in a composition book. It's not done. You can see there's a lot of empty pages. But I did kind of write letters to her when she was a baby about my feelings, my hopes, my fears, things like that. She was able to write in some of the scribbles in here. So, not done, but I'm glad I did it. Because I do have those memories of like how it felt to be a new mom and some of the struggles that I went through. And then I was introduced to Smashbooks, and Smashbooks is basically a spiral bound book used with really nice cardstock or scrapbook paper. And I used this one. I have multiple Smashbooks, but this one I used to create as a traveling journal of documenting some of my travels with my sister. And this was when we went to New York, but I do have some other ones using Smashbooks from like keeping my kids' art in it. And let's see, I have another one with postcards that we collected from our travels, things like that. Still a work in progress, but I like this because it was easy. I didn't have to think about the layout itself. I just kind of plopped down pictures and ephemera and postcards, and again, nothing really fancy, a little bit of washi, things like that. So then I actually was gifted this from my sister, this journal, and this one was a recipe journal, and I created this for my kids, and I wrote a letter to them at the beginning, and then this are recipes that we love as a family. So on this the right side, it would be the recipe and the instructions and then on the left side would be some of my notes about tips on how to on the recipe itself, and whether it was like someone's favorite and just a special memory associated with the recipe itself. I think this is chicken and gravy, and it's my youngest minion's favorite. So I wrote a little story about, how he loves to eat it and everything. And I kept some of my old recipe on index cards in here. I think I actually have, an old index card from my father-in-law who has passed away. It's got to be somewhere in here. Oh, it's not an index card. It's just a little piece of paper. And I kind of wanted to put that in there. But yeah, this is still a work in progress, still a lot of empty pages, but I thought it was a little different because it's not just journaling about a day or anything, but it's recipes and the special moments behind the recipes. So I really like that, and I hope to pass it on to my kids once they get older. Okay, so then my creative journaling process began in 2019 with this B6 Scribbles That Matter planner. And as you can see, as the years go on, it kind of gets smaller and smaller. But like I said, I started in this B6 bullet planner from Scribbles That Matter, and I didn't want to commit myself to a daily journaling because I was a busy mom. My kids were small, and I knew I wouldn't be able to commit to something every day. So I actually did a weekly approach on this, and I used it as a planner, and then I went back later, and so you can see here I documented like events and things like that, and then I went back later to the previous weeks, and I added the pictures down. And I really like that. You can see it's very photo based and very photo heavy. I got a sprocket, Canon sprocket, to be able to print out pictures easily and quickly, and just used a lot of stickers and a little bit of ephemera, and to just document the week. It was really fun. I did a pretty good job at keeping up with it. I think I did the entire year. And I could do a closer flip through if you want, if you're interested. Just let me know in the comments. But yeah, I did tucks, tips, kept some of the ephemera that they knew that from the day. So let's see. Things like that. Yeah, and it was very simple. I liked it. Didn't stress out too much with it. But yeah, again, very picture heavy. I did use a little bit of collaging elements as I went on. But again, just kind of very photo heavy. And then in 2020, I went into this Moleskine, which is an A5, and I still went on a weekly documenting basis. But this was a little bit more using some of my scrapbooking paper and just playing around a little bit more with collaging elements, but still very photo heavy, as you can see, and just a little bit more with collaging elements, and I really enjoyed that. So because I was starting to get into the collaging, you can see it's very chunky, but I didn't do a very good job at keeping up with this. I think I fell off the wagon sometime in August. But because I was enjoying the collaging aspect, for 2021, I decided to go a little bit smaller, which is in this B5 Stalogy. And I moved from a weekly documenting to a daily documenting. And that allowed me to be able to play around more with collage elements, because on a daily basis, I don't have as many pictures as I would on a weekly basis. So still had some pictures in here, but again, a little bit more focus on the collaging aspect, because some of the days you just don't have any pictures to put down. So like these 2 days have no pictures at all, just collaging bits. And I really, at first, I struggled with it because I didn't feel like I was creative enough or artistic enough to do it. But then I was like, why are you stressing out about just putting down paper? So I do have to say that in my daily creative journal for 2021, I do share a lot more feelings and private thoughts than I did in my 2020 journals and my 2019 journal. And that was because these were really focused on just memory keeping and documenting our day, versus this is more of a combination of memory keeping and personal writing. So I would be more hesitant to have someone read this journal than my 2019 and my 2020 journal, just for that reason. Now, I wouldn't mind if my kids read this after I'm gone, just to know about me a little bit more and my feelings and my struggles, because I think that's important for our kids to know us as human beings and not just parents and chaos corrallers. So that's my journey in journals. And I hope that was informative, useful. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you next time. If you're interested in any flip throughs of my creative journals, let me know in the comments below, and I can film that. Thanks.